you're tapping into what I call the sense of being overdoing, right?
The sense of being overdoing.
I want to be something. Rather than having this long list of things I have to do, what do I want to be? And when I tap into what I want to be, I want to be a more present person or a more honest person or whatever that is. It doesn't feel like a job. It's just tapping into your purpose.
That's
which
awesome.
you described, and that's what people get when they come to you. Your practice feels like.
That's it. I wish, that's awesome. I want to take that and put it on a board and just stick it up above my door as I walk in that office every day and remind myself, I mean, this is what I feel, but you just eloquently put it into words. That's it. And it's like, I am so fortunate to be doing what I'm doing. And I would love to be able to guide somebody else down that path, whatever it is. And you're right, it's funny, I haven't thought about this, but not having somebody underneath right now to mentor, to kind of help me with what I'm doing, I've been doing this to my patients.
Yeah.
I've been doing it to my patients, not knowing it. And it goes back to what I originally said, and that is that I didn't change what I was doing because of whatever somebody brought into my office as far as sports so much. It's like I just wanted some other way of being whoever I'm going to be in this circumstance. And so the way I chose to express myself is through this thing I'm doing in my office, in my business. And that self-expression is a true one. And if you can express yourself, and this is in the words of Bruce Lee, but if you can express yourself truly, then you are going to excel. You're going to be amazing at what you do because you're in your moment. You're doing what you love. And however far you get, that's what it is. And if you're at peace with that whole process, you'll go a long way.
Yep.
I'm not done. I don't,
I think that's the key to longevity we were talking about, right? We're all works in progress.
There's something I'll share, and that is so manual therapy. I've done one of the ways I work is through active release technique. Okay, so I started doing that in 1999, and prior to that, the guy who teaches it was actually partners with another person who had an office here locally, and they published some research. And I was just reading as much as I can about this stuff because I had friend or two that were working for them. I learned a lot just reading those articles. It's like I got on board with it. So I was so into this, and I still am. But since '99, it's like it becomes something different. I was going to say is that once you learn something, allow it to be different too. And that goes with sport. Allow yourself to. You're going to learn a basis, and then find some innovation to yourself. It'll be better. But this is after, let's say, how many years? 1999. I went back and I decided to do another course again a few years back. And so there's, I don't know, a 15-year gap or something between starting it and then that point. And I go into the course and I'm taking this thing I took over and over again. It's the same thing. And it's like I was there, I was working on a foot, and I was listening to what the instructor had to offer, and I was just applying it as he was speaking. I was doing. And I was kind of asking him questions about this too as I was doing it. And he stopped me and he goes, "How long have you been doing this?" And I knew this instructor, I knew the guys from the ground level. He was kind of a new guy, and yet he's very well versed and knew the stuff very well. And he stopped me and he said, "How long have you been doing this stuff?" And I said, I don't know, 15 years or so. And he said to everybody in that group, he said, "So this is a person, after 15 years, he still has questions for me, and he wants to know. Because I know that if I can be more present in the moment, I'm going to take what he has to offer." And if you're in any circumstance in life, if you can find that genius in somebody and take that thing, and it could be an athlete and a coach, if you can be present with listening to that coach, whether it's being how to position yourself, how to use your body, where you need to go in this play, or where you need to be in life, if you can do that, it's like, and being present in that moment, that'll carry on throughout life. You'll continue to learn how to do that process. I didn't know I was doing it. I was just being, the word I haven't used today is vulnerable. So if you can be vulnerable and be true to yourself, you'll recognize a lot of what's going on with you, and you'll evolve in sport and life. And it took me a while to get to that vulnerable spot. I was just, because at some point your ego is all in there, and especially with sports, it's like, we're gonna win, and you got this thing. And I'm not saying it's bad. I mean, you need to have this thing. It's the energy. You get that. I get it. Sometimes being around it, especially with one time with professional football, and been around a group of them, let's say, and you sense this thing, and it's like, oh my God, it's like ego, and it's like, I know you got to be part of that, and you're using that to drive yourself. It's okay, just realize that's what it is, and don't let it dominate you and dictate things you do in life and your perspective in life. Because if your ego's dictating it, and I will raise my hand as to that's me too, then you're kind of going down a path that, I don't know how we got started on this, but it's an unawareness at that point. You've lost your awareness. You've lost your brain awareness, your mind awareness, your mindfulness.
You're just in that protective state, right?
Yeah, and then if you're going to be true to your physicality too and how you're going to perform, I mean, if you're not present there, you're going to be disconnected here. So I'm not saying the ego is all bad, but if you can be more attuned, it'll be better. I'll take another example here, and I've enjoyed watching mixed martial arts not just because of the knockouts and roundhouse kicks, but I love watching body movement. I love it, all kinds of body movement, and it's just in sport. And I got into watching this stuff because what they were doing, and so I was watching. The show was the Ultimate Fighter, and so they actually do background on these people who are doing this thing, right? Who are these people who do this thing? Why are they doing this thing? Why are they hitting each other? What kind of person hits another person? Can they exist in life and still, normally, and still go hit people and knock them out? What do they do? Who are these people? Some are people who just do that. Some have normal lives, husbands, wives, job. Okay, so you get this spectrum of people doing it. And so they always do this thing before the fight. They the fighter's going to talk about what they're going to do to the other person, right? And so you feel this ego coming on. I'm going to, first round, I'm going to knock him out. I'm going to take him down. I know his weaknesses. I'm going to be there. You better watch out for me, right? And then you get the other guy coming on. It's going to be a good fight, and I've prepared well for it. I know myself. And I know what I need to do at a certain point. I know he's going to be challenging me here and there. The guy's real. You can tell that he's real in the situation, and you know that he's got confidence. You're not subtracting it. His ego is still a little part of that. And I'm not saying the other guy's going to lose, and I'll just say it, this one guy who's saying all this stuff that's present, he meditated. I'm watching this show, right? I'm like, what are these guys doing? He's meditating. He's meditating while these guys are in the pool, horsing around.